Time will tell. Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome to today's Surprise Live. I wonder if anyone is around to have a little chin wag, because hey, this girl's bored. She's had to put her crochet hooks down yet again. I'll tell you about that in a little bit though. It's alright, I keep looking up because I've got my other screen up there that's got all of the chat on, so I really should pop that out and make sure I'm on live chat, shouldn't I? So fingers crossed. There we go. Let's bring me chat down. So hopefully I can see one or two of you pop in, if anybody even arrives. It's been really slow today. We just had the Fun Day Dye Day video go up that showed you two of the yarns that I dyed last week. Now there are a good few more colourways coming up. If you wanted a quick sneaky peek, you can pop over to the last Whips, Bits and Chat. That shows you the DK ones that I had done. I have now finished off doing some more DKs, they're little minis, and also some, what was it, 50 gram, 50 cotton, 50 acrylic blend mix as well. Now those colours are beautiful. Now I will be putting photographs of those up on the Facebook page once they're taken. Okay, sorry if I sound a bit weird with my breathing. I ran up and down the stairs too many times. I'm a bit out of breath for the minute. I am so unfit, but hey, that's what that horrible sea did to me. The long sea, hence why I'm not working at the moment. Joe, welcome in, gorgeous girl. Nice to see you, honey pie. Your package is still sitting here because I'm a twit and I moved it and then completely forgot about it. But Joe's got a little surprise arriving at some point when I do get off my tush and get to the post office. But Joe knows me far too well, didn't you, girl? So she's saying, hello, kiddo. Cheeky snot box. Cheeky snot box. So what are you working on today, Joe? I'm on a bit of a ban from crochet again. I was working on the new bag pattern that will hopefully come out once I get a couple of crazies to test it for me. And I pull my yarn really tight when I do it. So compared to the pattern will tell you to use a certain hook, but I actually go up a hook because I pull so tight. But because of that, the repetitive strain injury is back. So I picked up the knitting needles, ripped back all that work that I showed you on Whips, Bits and Chat at the weekend, ripped it all back, started again, got an extra 2 repeats done, then mucked up. So I ripped it back because I'd put a save line in. I picked up from that save line about 6 times and it looks like I missed a stitch on the save line. So I ripped it all back again and went to it. I did try crocheting with it, but the fabric's too thick. I really liked the way the knitting looked with that yarn. So I cast on again and thought, forget it, I'm just going to go backwards and forwards with the basic knitting pattern, similar to, well, the same style as what I did for the v-neck top that I had. Hi Purple, thank you for popping in, darling. She's saying hi and bye, can't stay, we'll watch replay later. Thank you, honey pie. Bye, have a good day at work if that's where you're heading off to. Yeah, so I cast on and I thought I'll start with some ribbing. So I started with some ribbing, and on row 3 I ripped it out because I've mucked my ribbing up as well. So I was just like, I'm giving up with this yarn for now. It's doing my nut-nutting, proper doing my nut-nutting. Oh, Joe, no I didn't. I might have to talk to you properly with your snotty voice later. Jo is saying she did wonder about the package, but don't worry. Did I know she was full of cold? No, I didn't. And then pops in with, hope it all goes well for your knitting at this time. No, it didn't. It's sitting there crocheted at the moment. And all I've done is a foundation double crochet chain. And I'm like, don't want to do this. So that got put down as well. It'll get ripped back in. I'll give it another go, but I'm getting to the point now where the ball that I'm using has been used so many times that it easily splits, and I'm sort of a bit dubious, because if I carry on using that same ball, when it comes to washing it, I've got a feeling I've overstretched the yarn and it's going to shrink. So I've got to make sure that when I do it, I'm going to use that section for the ribbing, but I'm going to stay on the same hook as the rest of the jumper, because I think then if the knitting shrinks, it's going to shrink on the ribbing, which is where I want it to pull in anyway. Is that a good idea, Joe? Use like qualified knitter and stuff. I've got no ideas. Amy, welcome in, darling. She says, good afternoon. It's afternoon. Okay, Joe knows about this. I think Purple knows, but Purple's legged it. Amy, there is a 20% off at the moment on all of the patterns over on my Ravelry. All you need to do is use the code word RED. That's capital R-E-D. Red, as in the colour. So if you fancy having a look, we'll pop over there in a few minutes and I will show everybody that there's more than one pattern now. There is 38 designs up on my Ravelry page, and I've still got another 2 to add that I haven't finished writing up, and then the new bag pattern. So that'll make it 41 once I get my finger out and start typing. But the repetitive strain injury is killing even when it comes to typing. Dinky, welcome in. She says, hello, Poppy. I can't listen as I'm bus, but watching. No. Let's see if we can make her laugh. What other faces can I pull her? Dinky knows me too well. She's like, bog off, woman. Okay, so as Dinky is just listening, let's do a pop over to Ravelry now so she can have a nose. Let me just enlarge that page, move everything out the way because I get all confused, which honestly isn't difficult with me at all in the slightest. Right, okay, let's enlarge so you guys can see it a bit better. There we go. Oh, which way shall I go? Let's go for the old stuff because most of you have seen the new stuff. Recently published, sort alphabetically. That's no good. Okay, I can't have it the way that I wanted it then and show you the old stuff first. Hi Kelly, welcome in, darling. That is I Bring It Every Day. She's saying hey honey. Right, okay, so let's jump you over. Fingers crossed this works. Yes, it did. Brilliant. Okay, so as I had said, there is now 38 patterns over on Ravelry, and I'm hoping I have covered at least one pattern each of you would like to make. Now, there's a couple of you in the chat that have already made them because you're my gorgeous testers. If at any point while I'm showing you these you would like to see it actually in my hand, I still have all of these projects, all of them, in my craft room so I can show you them a bit better that way. Right, so of course you guys have all seen the granny hexagon blanket dress. The tutorial for that is going on at the moment. It's part work and I think we're up to number 3 of 4. Now the summertime beach cover up, no, that will not be a tutorial on the channel, and our cheeky Joe can explain why. No, I'm not putting you in that position, Joe. It is a labour of love, this pattern. It's really lovely to do. Each motif would take you somewhere between 30 minutes to 45 minutes to do. The most troublesome part of that pattern in my mind is actually the joining, because you join the motifs on the last rounds. But it's a nice one to stick in your travel bag if you're in the car or you're going on the plane. I can tell you that from experience because I made that whilst travelling to and from Australia. So that's been made on the plane, that's been made in the car. I even made it when we went down to the beach, when the family went to swim with the dolphins. They didn't get to see the dolphins though, but they got to swim with another animal instead. Video is up on the channel already. Right, the latest bag pattern out is the piglet. Now that one I think is super cute, but then I also love the monkey backpack. And of course we have the elephant snuggly baby elephant. Now that has got two patterns in there. There is the snuggly and there is a rucksack. At the moment I do have a giveaway running on my channel, and there's also a giveaway on Blue Heart Crochets, and where you have the opportunity to win that pattern. Now if you enter that and you're lucky enough to win and you've already purchased the Ellie pattern, you can the winner will get to swap it out for one of the other patterns in the shop. And as I said, there's 38 to choose from at the moment, so you've got quite a bit of choice. We have the Winter Harvest cowl, fingerless gloves and bobble hat. Now Aussies, if anyone is still up, which I doubt it because we're kicking on midnight over there, it would be ideal for now because the weather's getting nippy. Alright, we've got the Jackie Jumps jumper. Now I am going to be honest with you, I'm going to admit something now that I've never admitted before. When I made the one that's in the picture, I confused my hooks. So they've both got the same amount of rounds, but one was done in a 4 and one was done on a 3.5 hook. Or basically there was a hook size difference, which is why one side is shorter than the other. But it doesn't matter to me because I walk wonky anyway, so it makes my arms look straight. Oh, I shouldn't say that, should I? Right, the next one up is the Little Bird blanket. Now, that also contains the directions for a pillow as well. So you're getting two patterns for the price of one on the Little Bird. Now, the Not Again Granny, I think that's on the channel. Yeah, because I made it in blue. Yep, so the Not Again Granny is on the channel. Cheeky Monkey hat and poncho, they are not on the channel. The Mosaic Crochet Cactus is on the channel. That is number 25 in the Stitch a Week set. We've got the Pride Bucket hat, not on the channel. And Crazy Cat Jumper, not on the channel. The Fancy Dress Nose, that's the cheapest chips a pattern if you fancy it. Rose Garland Creations, Catherine, welcome in, darling. She's saying, how am I going? She's from Tas in Australia. Quick, get yourself to the spotlights if you can. They've got the that granny square yarn in the mill end bags, and in some places you can get it at the moment for between $6 and $11. Lots of colours to choose from. Just get an extra bag to what you think you may need. Because sometimes they sneak in a different colourway in the middle of the bowl. Right, let's jump back. We have the Timothy the Tiger C2C. Now, this is not going on the channel. This was massive, a massive project that took over the floor in my lounge. So that's never going to come up on the channel. Right, we've got the Lilybeth pocket shawl and the Christmas tree face. That's just something silly that's there just in case you want to. Two people liked it, but I'm tempted to actually remove it because it's a very, very simple pattern. We have the no paper chains. There is a video for that one. The Pops Baby a blanket and Pops hat. If you purchase the two of those together, you do get an automatic discount. With the Christmas gift card holders, there is, what was it, 5 patterns or 6? But there's also directions how you can turn each one of these into a stuffy as well. So you could have a little decoration for your table or your tree. There are tutorials on the channel for that one as well. Okay, Amy. Amy is popping out quickly. She'll hopefully be back. Fingers crossed you will, girl. Thanks, darling. See you soon. The puzzle piece pocket scarf, that is available. Now, that was myself and Sabrina Mellagers. We teamed up to make that. So I've got the scarf. She's got the hat. Right, we have got the Biddy baby hat and blanket again. Those are teamed together, so if you purchase two you get a discount on those. The fairy wine box holder is something really cheeky and really naughty. As you can see by the Santa box cover, that is where it's naughty because of where the spout for the wine comes out. Lulu, welcome in, darling. She's saying hello to me and of course everybody in chat. Now my giant unicorn pillow, that is available here on YouTube as a tutorial. And I think the spider pillow is as well. Right, Poppy Boats Challenge. Is anyone gonna take it up? I've stopped doing them now. I have made 5,000 and I think that is enough for me. But the pattern is going to be left there in case anybody else wishes to make it. It's a free pattern. Okay, free. You heard me right. Free. Give it. I gave it away for free. Okay, so Louis saying hi to Kelly, Jennifer, Catherine, Amy. Dink has come back with hi, Amy and Cindy. Right, the C2C cut. Oh, right. Then we have the old C2Cs. This is where I first started off. I actually started off with the unicorn pattern that you can see at the bottom of the screen. I just made it, showed it, and everyone said, we want the pattern. So you got the pattern and you got the tutorial. It's the same with Max a Koala and the penguin blanket, although I think that is still named Christmas, and I think that is from Christmas 21 or Christmas 22 mystery pattern. And the cupcake blanket comes with the directions for the cushion as well. So at the moment, that is all of the patterns in Ravelry. If you think I should, if you've got any ideas on other things that I can make, although to be honest, I am sort of enjoying myself. Or am I enjoying or am I stuck? I'm not too sure. Enjoying or stuck with making bags. They are fun because I like to do the aragurumi as much as anything else. So I get to do a bit of aragurumi and then make it into something else. But if there's any ideas for items that you would like to see me attempt to make, drop me an email, stick it in the chat. I don't mind. Okay, so now I've got rid of that bit. Remember, there is 20% off of all of the patterns if you use the code word RED. Why has that gone back to top chat? It's meant to be on live chat. Sorry if I have missed your comments. No, it looks about the same. That's cool. Have I bored you all senseless because you've all gone quiet? Right, okay, so none of you have asked to see any of those patterns in real life. You can see quite a few of them behind me at the moment. So what are you girls all working on? I've had to take a forced break today. I'm hoping to get back to finishing the new bag off this evening if I can, or at least doing a couple of rounds of it because it's quite tough going for me. Dodgy wrist. Knitting, yeah, I've given up on that for today. Gave up on it yesterday after it went wrong. Lulu, thank you ever so much, darling. Are there any that you wanted to see in person? Because I've got the, there we go, see blankets here. That's the hat, cowl and gloves set there. We've got, as you can see, a little stripe there. That's the Pride Bucket hat. And then of course we've got some clothes as well. Now this one isn't out yet, and neither is the one behind it, which is why I've kept them behind the hexagon dress. Oh no, Dinky's got an ad. What time are we on? How long have we been going? Hopefully it will finish quickly. If you do come across any ads, click out of them as soon as you can, girls. I'm not too worried, but of course YouTube likes to do it. What are we on? Started at past, didn't I? So we're on about 20 minutes in. That's not too bad actually. Last time they were sticking them on, what, every 15 minutes or something. Lulu says that she loves the colour choices. On what items, Lulu? Dink's in the ads and she's saying very beautiful. Thank you, darling. At the moment, I'm just trying to work through. At the moment, I'm just sorry. I'll catch up with that comment in a minute, Lo. At the moment, I'm just trying to work through all of the yarn that I've got in the room. I'm getting there. I've been shopping my stash now for what, for a year? I've done a year and a bit so far. And the only time I buy yarn now is if I need it for a project like my friend's baby blanket that I made her and showed you a couple of weeks ago. I ran out of the colours that I was using, so I had to buy more there. And then, of course, some slipped in my basket, but we won't admit to that. Or, of course, if it's holiday colours. Right, okay, so Lulu's saying she loves the little bars I hang my makes on. You'd seen the video when I got it. It's very nice. It's one of them bathroom towel holders we managed to pick up off of Amazon, I think it was. It's not too bad, but you don't want to hang anything too delicate on it, or too weighty. As you can sort of see with this one, if it's left too long, it does start to stretch the item out. So I'm going to have to take the stuff off soon and give it a rest before putting it back on again. So Lou liked the greys and blues and the blanket with the red and the grey. Greys and blues. Greys and blues, grey. Right, hold on. Let's go for the second one. Red and grey. That one. Okay. Now that's the Pops blanket. And this also has the little hat. Look at that hat. Oh, there's the back. There's the front. And here's your blanket. Oh, let's get it round the right way. So that's that one. The details for the yarn I cannot remember straight off, but it is in the written pattern. But that's the red and grey. It's more, yeah, it's dark reds, pinks and grey. I must admit I did like the way that one worked up. And the greys and the blues. Greys and blues, greys and blues, greys and blues. What have I got that's greys and blues? No, they're all those. You've confused me with that comment about greys and blues, girl. The rest of those on there, pretty much a C to C. Lou likes all of them, really. Oh, thank you, honey. Every now and then, the yarn just works out with the pattern. With that one, there is also, I think it was Sabrina did it in 2 different colours as well. She did a plain one and then she did a more colourful one, and those are linked on Ravelry so that you can see them differently if you wanted to. So you can see the pattern a bit better on the plain ones. But I think that might have been the kiss. I know she definitely did the kisses, the Hugs and Kisses blanket. Where have we gone? Lulu is saying, oh, how adorable the hat. And yes, that is adorable too. I must admit, it's so cute. I just want to hand it to someone and say, put your kid in it. But I don't have any grandkids yet. And any of my friends that do live absolute miles away from me, sort of on the other side of the country. Looks like it has a nice drape, so comfy. Yeah, the blanket is proper comfy. It's the one hanging on the bar, the grey. I think it's red. Sorry, I thought it was a blanket. Oh, right, okay. This one hasn't come out yet. It's actually a V-neck. It looks a heck of a lot better on. When it's hanging up there, it does look like a blanket, though. I will fully admit to that one. So it's a V-neck and it's got detailing at the bottom as well. Now, this one was made with yarn. I'm going to leave it down here. Yarn that I brought from Spotlight in Australia. And it took me a while. It's alright, I've actually got it sitting here on my table. It took me a while to identify it. I even reached out to the font of all knowledge, our crystal at Bag a Day, and went, girl, any idea what this was? She thought she'd matched it. It was close, but it wasn't quite there. But we managed to, I did manage to match it, and the details are of course in the written pattern. But this is what it looked like in the hank. And those fluffy bits are actually woven into it, so you can't cut them off without the yarn ripping up and breaking. So it is awkward because it's got quite a short colour change. But I worked out how to work with it after a while. It took me a little bit, but I worked it out, and that's why it's got the bubbles of colour sitting the way it has on the dress. Well, on the top. Yeah, let's get that close. So there's a nifty trick that's written in there, and if you don't get it, I'm happy to do a video if you've purchased the pattern. Okay, Dinky, put kettle on, make some brew, have some lunch. Dinky has got to go, she's nearly home. So bye. Never know, she might pop in and stick me on loud when she gets in. The hanks are lovely. In the bag there was it 6? So you're getting 400 grams of yarn in total, and I only used half of them. So I only used, well, I actually used under 200 grams of this, but then I did also mix it up with the grey, and the grey was Pato Pato Everyday DK. Just got the cheap stuff off the shelf, because technically that stuff is quite expensive if it hadn't have been bought in a mill end bag. It's definitely one of those yarns that you'd want to mix with another colour, because it does get very overwhelming on the eye, and trying to get it to lay nicely over more than 2 rows I found awkward, and I didn't like it. It was too busy for me, so 2 rows was the max I was going with it. Okay, so Dinky is saying hugs to Jen, and sorry, not Dinky, Lulu is saying hugs to Jen and have a super day. Yep, Lulu loves this yarn. Lulu, you is back crazy. I've still got 3 of these and a half wound ball left. It's just working out what to do with it. I would have sent it out to somebody by now if I was evil, but I'm not that evil. And to send it anywhere, anything outside of the UK is ridiculously priced. I'm looking at about £18 to £20 per 100 grams, and I'll let you do the math on that. It's definitely not worth it, which is why on the hand dye videos I do say I'm sorry, it's for UK only, because I can't cut the price of that down without cutting into any profit, and I only make a small profit on the yarn as it is, so it'd be like me giving it away for free if I did any discounts for postage costs and things like that. So thanks, post companies, you're really stitching me up there. Because we're not lucky enough to be able to fill a box, and it doesn't matter what the weight is. All of our packages are done off of weight first and then size. So it's like you can have a letter and you get, if you've got, say, a birthday card, they're the worst. You get a birthday card and it's one of these pretty ones that are multi-layered. You might be paying £3 to £4 for that to go in the post. Yet you could send a long, like a little small one, sorry, that's padded, right? £3 to £4. Yet you can send a long one that's just a plain pattern, and it'll cost you £1.50. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So what are you girls that are working on at the moment? None of you have shared your projects with me. I understand it's lunchtime for quite a few of us here in the UK, and quite early morning for others in America, and late at night for those in Australia, as if me Aussie's still here. Oh, this top. This is one of my Aussie bought ones. I got it for $2. It's a nightmare. It's meant to go over sports gear, but I didn't realise. So it keeps flashing this like the side of my bra. It's annoying as out. But of course, I wasn't prepped for today's live. I just jumped on and went, woo! Okay, so Lulu has said it's 8 a.m. here right now. She's in America. She noticed a lot of folks stayed up well after midnight last night. Well, it was the 4th of May celebrations. You guys go doolally for it. So she's thinking most are probably still in bed. I don't blame them. She shared out my live just now. Thank you ever so much, darling. You're a superstar. Joe's working on Nathan's jumper as per usual. Her boy is so tall. This thing is going on forever. Have you made it at least got to the sleeves yet? Got to the sleeves now, Joe. And she was making her lunch. I had a feeling you might have been, girl. Lulu saying she wishes to get some videos done, but was resting and out of commission all day yesterday. Feeling very tired now, but praying to gain some energy. Lulu, sugar. Sugar, food. And Lulu saying hi to Joe. Okay, so it's only our poor Joe that's sitting there creating at the moment. No, Lulu, I haven't. I've reached out to a couple of other people. None of us have heard from her. Lulu was saying that she's missing Precious Ursula so much. Have I heard from her? So no. I haven't heard anything. If I'd heard anything, I would only give you the basic, like, yep, she's all right, or she'll be back so and so. I wouldn't say anything more than that. But some people do like to add extras, so I can understand that if she's got something going on at the moment, she might not want to share it, or she might have got herself a job and have no time for YouTube. I'm hoping it's that. I'm hoping she's just gone and got herself a job. But yeah, definitely miss my Ursa. So we used to have a couple of hour chats after the live, so I used to bug her on. When I used to pop up on her live, we'd end up chatting afterwards. So I'm definitely missing that and missing her live. So fingers crossed she will be back soon. Jo saying that she has nearly finished the first sleeve. Yay! Has that boy got monkey arms? I know my boy has, hence why I won't make him a jumper. I threatened to make him like a V-neck thingy, but he said no. He doesn't want anything crocheted or knitted. He says it's too much flipping effort and whinging. He might as well just go to the shop and buy one. It works out less. What was the words he used? Nicer on his ears. That was it. Nicer on his ears, cheeky kid. I better not finish that phrase. So Lulu is praying she's okay. I think quite a lot of us are worried, but we'll just have to wait and see if when she pops back. I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when she pops back. Left comments on a community tab. Just be happy to know she's okay. Yeah, I think basically all of us are the same. Yeah, that was, wasn't it? Crikey, that was way back when. I think I was, what was I on? About 1,500 subscribers at the time when you popped in, if not less than that. Jo saying her other half's got gorilla arms. Yeah, mine too. It's like 15 balls of yarn just to do one sleeve, isn't it? Absolute nightmare. Oh dear. You'll have to show me that later when I bug you. But it'll be after this live or tomorrow, depending on how your brain's going. So Jo, sorry, we know Jo's working on the jumper. Lou, what are you working on at the moment? Have you got your hook or your needles in hand? is going on with this thing? We've got 3 viewers in at the moment. It's so quiet. Okie dokies, Joe. Right, not Joe, sorry. Milulu. She says she's going to have to leave. Such wonderful company, but she has to go for now. Love you bunches. Big hugs, honey. See you soon, Lulu. Bye. Don't forget, if you haven't hit up the giveaway, make sure you do. That's the Blue Heart giveaway. It's where you have the chance to win one of the Ellie patterns. And in that pattern there is, of course, the 2 variations. You've got the Snuggly and the little rucksack. And also a pop over to Blue Heart Crochet's channel where you get a second chance to win. Oh, Joe. Okay, you're going to escape me today, girl. Joe's saying she's picking up her daughter just after 3 today. She's back home for a couple of weeks. Work experience at the vet. You did tell me about that, so she's going to have fun with that. All right, I'll let you escape me for the next few days. She can do your heading instead. Oh dear. Has she put in any more orders, Joe? Because Joe was the one that made the different version of the Summertime Beach cover-up. She made a top that looks absolutely beautiful. There is a photo that's linked to the pattern where you can see it from the front and the back of Joe's version, and the details are also in the written pattern, so if you wanted to change it up you could. And remember, they're on discount, just got to use the word code RED in the disc at checkout. No, not yet. Keep her away from me page, Joe. Keep her away. No, you don't have to. Love you. Haven't got any new clothing patterns yet for her to annoy you with. I could think of some. That's a threat, not a promise. Okay. So who wants a sneak peek at some more yarn that got dyed up? This would be on the 50% cotton, 50 acrylic, 2 weight / fingering base, and they're 50 grams each. Because I got a small bag here. Oh, flipping heck, I shouldn't have lifted it. Small bag. That's got all of the ones that I've dyed in it. On Whips and Bits on Sunday, you got to see the first half, and it's the second half I've still got left. Well, I've got to label them all yet, but it's the second half that I haven't showed. I'm planning to put photographs of them up on the Facebook page if you wanted a sneaky peek at them there as well. And that's where they're actually unravelled. Oh cripes, I'm in trouble now. Got to show you them all, have I, Joe? Or just one of them? Or just the new ones? Alright, so on Joe's head be it. Okay, so we're going to go for the newer ones. Okay, the first off, these are little 10 grams. And we've got the first set of minis. Now, I've got the minis because when I wind up or hang up the yarn, if I find a miller's knot in it, I take that whole skein off and I will use that for tails. Well, I actually use it for the little mini hanks of 10 grams, and then the bit that's got the mill end knot in it I will use to tie up the rest of the hanks, so nothing goes to waste. But these are on a DK weight, little 10 gram minis. Okay, so these are ones that nobody's seen before, Joe. There we go. So that's a little set there. It has some, we'll start with the first one. This is, they're showing up quite nicely actually. These have got dark and lighter shade of pink. Then this one has a dark pink, a light pink, and it goes into, what is that colour? Coral. There we go, got there in the end. Then we've got another one that is more corally. Next one that's more corally. And the last one, show it on camera, has light colours and very light coral. But together they all match up quite nicely. So they're cute wee hanks, as our Jo says. That's the Scottish in you, girl. Scottish in me coming out there as well. Cripes. The next cute wee hanks, there is 10 of these. They all got dyed at the same time. But when it came to washing them, sometimes the mini hanks get caught up against each other and it's hard to separate them. Or they get separated, but the hanks are so tangled that I wouldn't want to sell it like that. And so I'd have to redo it. But instead, what I did this time, I'm just going to get out 5. There is another 5 in the bag. What I did this time was did little baubles of, it's still the 100 gram. Don't drop it, woman. But it's a centre pull ball. Okay, there is 2 centre pulls. Hi, Amy, she's back. Right, so we got the centre pull ball that shows a lot of the colours. If I can get my head out of it so it focuses. And these are the little mini hanks. Now remember, there are 10 in total. I did 10 hanks. There is 2 mini balls and 8 mini hanks. Oh, these are really hard to show off, but there we go. Right, so they are on the 50/50 base. Yeah, so little wee hanks. Okay. Oh, I don't know if I want to show you this one, Jo. I really don't, because I really like this one. I was thinking when I made it of calling it Fireside. Now, all of these hanks are hanked slightly differently in the hopes that it will show you I've hanked them slightly two different ways in the hopes that it will show you more of the colours. Okay, now there will be photographs of this with one of these actually untwisted so that you can see it in its full glory. Here we go, here is Fireside. This is the best one. Now in this one we have got, it starts with the browns and then it works into the reds, the oranges and the yellows. The idea behind this one was that it was going to look like a fire. When I dyed it, the colours were very bright and bold, but with this yarn it doesn't take the strong colour. It takes the colours beautifully, but they're not as strong as, of course, what they would look like if they were wet. So once rinsed out, this is what we got. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. So I'm happy if nobody purchases this one. But again, these are they're 50 gram hanks each, and they're on the 50/50 and they're fingering weight. So wondering what Jo thinks of that one. Fireside. Oh, my Fireside is gorgeous. It is, isn't it? Okay. Let's do these 2 together. Right. Now, I'm going to show you 2 hanks of one colourway and 2 hanks of another. Because they look very, very similar and could work as a fade set. Okay, so to start off with, I'm trying to remember which one's which. We've got the light base version of the pink green roses, and then we have, what's that one, the maroon, but it's come out too light. So we're going to say bright pink roses and light pink roses. And there is 4 of this one and 4 of the other ones available. Again, these are on the 50/50 50-gram base fingering weight. But this one, the pink is more of a what would I call it? What would I call it? A vintage pink on this one. This one's more of a flamingo-y pink. Right. Not too worried about getting these mixed up because you can clearly see the difference between the two. But yeah, in total, look at that big bulk bunch. Right. So, Joe wasn't keen on them ones. Now, I've only got 2 more colourways left to play with in the fingering weight, I think. Yeah. And both of these I quite like as well. Right, and I haven't worked out what to call this one yet. Or have I? No, I haven't worked out what to call it. I thought I had something then, but it didn't work. Okay. Now again, these are all wrapped slightly differently in their hanks to hopefully show off the colours more. Now this one has some purples, pinks, what else have we got? Yeah, purples, pinks, oranges, green, a little bit of brown in there. So that's those ones. Now I've got to remember I'm 7 seconds behind you, Joe. So that comment will be in regards to the roses sets, which is fine. And as I said, I don't quite know what to call these ones yet, but they are. I quite like them as well. I'm going really strange and weird. Have you noticed, Joe? Normally I'm plain and boring and maximum 2 colours and I like them. But these ones have got such a mix in. And the same with Fireside and the last ones that I'm going to... You'd call them Sunrise. Or Sunset though, because we've got the purples in there. Does that mean I'm going to have to get up in the early in the morning to see what the sky looks like, Joe? That's evil, woman. But yeah, okay. So Joe's named them Sunrise. Thank you, honey. I've just got to remember that now. I'll have to watch my own video back, won't I? Now this is the last set on the 50/50 base, Joe. And then we'll have to talk about something else for a bit. Now again, I've wound these up slightly different with each of them, just solely because I felt like it. No, I like to try and show you all the different colours that are in there. Now this one has a grey as its main colour, and then we have speckles and spots and of other colours in there. So we've got some, let's have a look what we got. Blue, yellow, what else can I see in there? You'll probably see more than me when it comes up on camera, and then I'll be able to pull out some more colours. Okay, let's try and hold these in a way that I can show you all. Oh, you got a sneaky peek then. Right, 1, 2 and 3. Ready? Here we go. So again, as I said, I've twisted these all slightly differently, and just to try and show off some of the extra colours that are in there. Let's pull out, that one's quite pleasant. Well, not pleasant, they're all pleasant. What am I saying? This one shows quite a chunk of colour up on one end. There we go. Focusing, camera. That one's got oranges, yellows. Which one am I twisting? Blues. And no, gone that way. Oh. Yellows. Stormy yarn. I was thinking something along the lines of that because of the grey on it. Oh, this one's got more flecks that you can see. because of the way it's been hanked. Possibly stormy seas or something like that. But yeah, again, I quite like this one. Oh, I wish this wouldn't bleed out so much on one side of the camera. There we go. So those are all the fingering weight ones. And I'm going to be evil. I'm going to hold out on the other ones because they've all been bagged up in little plastic bags. In plastic bags to keep them together, which means there'd be a lot of crinkling, Joe, if I took them out. You're going to want me to take them out, aren't you? Because you're evil and sadistic. Oh, I've just put one down. Okay, you can go back up there. I need to organise that bag again. So, a couple of colourways there you quite like the look of then, Jay. Stormy and Fireside. Stop picking my favourites. I must admit, I was quite chuffed with the way that Stormy came out, and Fireside, because I'd attempted to do the Fireside, but I had some old dyes that I was using up, and I didn't bother record. Well, I didn't record it because I was having issues with the camera at that point, and it looked wicked on the table, absolutely wicked. And then I did all the treatment that I have to do with it. And then I rinsed it and all of the dye came out, or most of the dye came out. So it did not look like, oh, where is it? It didn't look like that one anymore. It was very, very pale. And so I was like, I've got to do it again. I need to do it again. So I did. And as you saw, it's nice, ain't it? Hi, Free Handy. Oh, welcome in, darling. You've just missed our yarn porn. Shouldn't call it that, should I? If you want me to show it again, I can. But it's a sneaky look at some of the yarns that I made last week that I dyed up. The only problem is it's only available to the UK crazies, because postage out of the UK starts at something like stupid, like £18 for 100 grams. Okie dokies. So our Free Handy is saying hello all in chat. She's getting ready for work. So a blanket hello. She'll definitely have to catch the replay. Cool. I won't bother showing you again then. You'll catch it in the replay. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, there will be photos on the Facebook group for any of the UK crazies that would be interested in purchasing, that shows you it hanked up and unhanked, so that you've got an idea of how the colours will run in your project. And I'll be popping them up later on today once I finish taking them, because we've had a couple of really overcast days, so I don't muck around with my photos. I don't like doing that. I will literally take them in, I don't do midday sun, but normally about 11 or 3. I'll lay it out, I'll take the photographs, and the only thing I do is crop them. I only cut the edges off. I don't do anything else with them, so it's however my camera sees it is the way that the picture is. Shh. Joe, you's naughty. I'm not reading that one out. Really not reading that out, but yeah, if you want to. Yeah, you can either choose some of these ones, or tell me what colours you want me to play with. Either way, when the video comes out, your name will be mentioned. If you're a UK crazy and you do purchase it and you want your name or your channel mentioned, I'll mention that when I make up the Fun Day Dye Day video and say, oh, so and so nicked this, so you can't have it. No. Because I like to do that. And if you are a channel creator and you've purchased as well, I will talk a little bit more about your channel as well. I thought you were going to do that anyway. Freehandy, she's saying she'll catch it on the replay. Laugh out loud. Yeah, and Joe, I can show you the rest of them later, darling, if you're looking for a DK based yarn. But as I said, the ones I showed today were all the fingering. Wait. So how many girls have we got 4 of us in at the moment. So who else is hiding in the background, I wonder? Amy said she was back early. Are you still here, Amy, or have you dipped out again? Because you didn't tell us what project you were working on earlier. Jo's working on her son's jumper. She's on to the arms. Fingers crossed you'll have it done soon. And Free's getting ready for work, so she's not working on nothing at the moment. Apart from maybe necking back a cup of coffee or something to keep herself awake. Because you're night shifting it, aren't you, girl? Because you're in Australia. Yeah. It's a bit of a weird time to leave for work. So Jo's saying there's a thought she'll have to have a think. It's whether you take potluck on me making a really cool colourway or you just go, I love them ones. Okie dokies, Amy. Amy said she's here for the next few minutes and she's got to go and get the mini-me, so she'll catch the rest on replay. Have fun with little mini-me. I'm assuming you are taking her off to school. Oh, Freehandy's been working on a Tunisian throw, Afghan, and a sparse set. An Afghan in Tunisian, that must look amazing. I've played around with Tunisian, but I didn't know it was Tunisian. The stitch I was using, I didn't know was Tunisian at the time. So I made a little Tunisian blanket using the same stitch work that I ended up using for the hat. So it's the squares there. So that's the only Tunisian stitch I know at present. And I can't think what it's called. My brain cell's gone to sleep. Which is normal for about this time in a life, isn't it? What are we on? Coming up for the hour. What a guess. My brain shuts down at about the hour mark. Amy's not been doing any crochet this week. She's had too much else going on. Fingers crossed you can find some time to sneak some in, darling, at some point. You must be rocking in your chair not being able to do none. I know I would be. I used to have a little emergency bag in the car, and it is literally a little bag about that big, which had a hook in it and a small ball of yarn so that I could make a hexagon or a square, or in most cases it had the red and the black in it for the poppies. And when I'd get to school, I'd make sure I got there a bit early. 1 for parking, but 2 so that I could sit and crochet. So I used to get there a little bit early, give myself like 15-20 minutes sitting in the car just crocheting away, making as many poppy fronts as I could. I did that for years. I loved it because it was completely my time. I would sit there and just listen to the radio, kill the batteries, so I end up having to recharge it, but listen to some music, crochet, and then when my daughter came in, then she knew I was calm, and if anything had happened at school she could unload or just chat me ear off depending on what mood she was in. So it worked out really well for me doing it that way. But I don't have the school run anymore now. So I'm like sitting rocking in my chair at the moment because I've had to slow down because of the repetitive strain injury. And I'm just like, I need something to do. And there's only so many patterns you can guesstimate if you're going to get correct when you're writing them up. Hence, I've got the ideas for 3 more animal bags, but I've only made the head on one of them. I've only made the amigurumi parts on one of them at the moment. I've got the other 2 to do, and then make the bag, and the bag is tough going. Especially when it gets big. When you get to where the arms are put in, you're sort of crocheting under your chin if you're sitting on the sofa. So it's it does get a bit awkward, especially with a dodgy wrist. But I'll get there at some point. So if any of you fancy becoming a tester for an animal bag, give me a shout. And I'll give you more details. At the moment, I am looking for a tester who has 400 grams of yellow, what are we on? Aran 4 weight, or a 12 ply, I think it is in Australia, and some orange. You can either use 2 strands of a DK, or of course you could use an Aran. Match that up with your country's coding. But yeah, I'm looking for at least 1 person for that at the moment, and then it will be another person for the other 2 animals. One's going to need to be green. You're going to need a big bulk of green. There's a big fat clue there. And the other one, I mucked up the colour choices on mine, so I'm going to have to sit there and think about it a bit more as to which colours to play with before I say it. And there's actually another one. I just remembered the other one. There's too many of these animal bags. I've gone a bit crazy in my head with them because it's a nice way to mix up amigurumi and have an item that can be used. And that's my plan at the moment, is to make patterns for items you can use. Whether it be clothing, bags or something like that, because there's so many blanket patterns out there now, and blankets do bore me after a while. There has to be something different in it. I was tempted to go down the route of mosaic and make a mosaic, but after my play around with the Jacob name in mosaic, I was just like, no, I'm not in the mood for that, because charting that out is an absolute nightmare for me. I'm one of these, I will sit there and I can sit there and do it visually, but if I start making a chart, I get all confused on what rows what and all the rest of it, so it takes me quite a while to do a mosaic chart. Whereas I've got the ideas, I just haven't got the ability to do the charting for it. So no for mosaic. I'm going to leave the mosaic to our beautiful Courtney at Fiberfox Studios. Hello, if you watch this later, darling. She has got some absolutely amazing patterns on her Etsy shop. I was really lucky to win a collection of 30, and so far I've done 2, but I was going to do them as a blanket, sort of mixing them up in the blanket, but it didn't happen. I've got a bed running instead, which is one of the patterns. Absolutely love it. I think it was number 40 on her Ravelry. I've got it over here actually. Move out the way back. So I mixed up 2 of her patterns. I think this one is pattern 40, is the inside of this blanket. Look at that. How cool is that? And then the outside section is mosaic again, but it's an envelope border, which she has on one of her other designs, which I think was a shawl. I've got it in my head, it was the shawl. So that is the pattern there. I used quite a few cakes. Well, I had actually used, what did I use with this one? It was Audi. The blue is Audi. I'm not sure if I've even got this. Oh, I've got it upside down. Oh, I'm so bad. Sorry, Courtney. Yeah, the blue is from Audi, and I believe the multicolours papaya cakes at that time. But you can also get it as a mandala or mandela or however it's said. You can get the same colourways in those cakes as well if you're in America. Or in Australia, in Spotlight. I've seen it in there as well. I'm trying to think, which one was it? Unicorn, I think. Okay, so there we go. So started off with a white. Moved on to the purple. Onto white. Onto a pink. So I'll be here forever. Back to white. Onto purple. Yeah. And by this point, I got bored. And then I did the border. And I really was not keen. That took nearly as long to do the border as it had for the actual bed runner. But it's super duper long. I know you do, Joe. You're not having it. Bog off. It's mine. But yeah, it's a really nice one. It's a really nice pattern repeat to do. Once you get it into your head each row, you're laughing. It's just remembering to cut your yarn. And a cheeky trick is, if you know you're going to be sitting down for a good few hours, get your clippers, stick them on a chain or a piece of thread around your neck. You won't lose them down the sofa. And as you finish and you've bind off, you can literally just grab the scissors from between the girls and clip it and work straight on to the next row. It speeds up so much time. You don't end up having to fish around the side of the sofa or check under your bum that you're not sitting on them, because that's what I was like. I was spending 5 minutes each row trying to find where I put my scissors. Sola, welcome in, honey. She's saying just stopping by to leave her thummy and making breakfast for mum. Angela, that's beautiful. Thank you, darling. The patterns for that are not mine. They are Courtney at Fiberfox Studios. I believe it's pattern number 40 for the main section, and the envelope border is on one of her shawl patterns. But yeah, absolutely lovely to work with. That's I made that quite a few years ago now. It's holding up really well, and it's so warm. Right, Free Handy is heading into work. Have a lovely shift, darling. What do you do for work, seeing as it's, what are we on? Kicking close to midnight, isn't it? Because you're in Australia. Yeah, I know, Joe. Just put them on a shorter leash, girl. On a shorter leash. Or a little ribbon around your wrist. No, that's dangerous. Actually, to be honest, hanging them between your necks is a dangerous thing. I was actually using one of the clipper things that I brought for travelling. It's a little round disc that has little notches all the way around it, and inside is a sharp blade, but you cannot separate it. I don't know where it's gone. I lost it before I went out to Australia, and I'd been using it for my poppies, and that was hanging as a necklace. I used to wear it on the plane as a necklace, and they'd let me through, no problems. I need to get another one. Oh, you're in the USA. I keep getting confused with that, honey. All right, I'll let you get away with it. It's not midnight then, is it? It's stupidly early morning instead. Sorry for confusing you with the Aussies. Yeah, what was I saying about the little round clipper? So I had this little round clipper. I got it from Wish. No, I haven't, honey. I haven't heard from Ursula. I got asked earlier. I've done like quite a lot of you. I've left her messages, fired over emails, but nothing yet. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping she's got herself a new job, and she just hasn't had the time. That's what I'm hoping for, because that's a positive thing, isn't it? Or worst case scenario, like me, she's got repetitive strain injury and is getting really irate. And that's why she stayed clear, because she likes to stay positive, doesn't she, on her channel? That's what I'm hoping for, but I do not know. Okay, I don't know what's going on with Ursula. I wish I did. Because there's quite a few of us worried about her now, bless her. Right. Where are we? Yes, I was saying, wasn't I, about the round disc? Yeah, so the round disc is literally, you just grab your yarn, just pull it over the sharp section. That way you don't stab yourself in the girls if you leave them hanging, if you leave it hanging between your neck, and you can get away with using it on the plane. Yeah, it's free handy. It's a case of fingers crossed it's a positive thing. But I can't give you any more information than that. And to be honest, and even if she did tell me, the most I would say to you is she's okay. It's nothing to worry about. I would not tell you if it was anything else, because it's not my place to. So hopefully, fingers crossed, as you said, she'll reach out to one of us soon and tell us that she's gone and got herself a full-time job. YouTube doesn't give her enough cash, because we all know that's true. I made a whole £3 last week on YouTube. That's about my average. But yeah, it's not really much else I can say. It was the same with Reggie when everything kicked off, where Reggie was. I've managed to get in contact with Reggie. So I'd said to you guys, right, she's safe. The family's safe. That's all I can tell you at the moment. And that's how I kept it. It was, if I knew that there were issues and we were all getting worried, if I'd managed to reach Reggie, or I'd seen her post something, I would say Reggie was safe as of this point in time because I've seen her post, or I got to talk to her. I wouldn't give anything more than that, because again, not my place to. So hopefully at some point our gorgeous Ursula will reach out and go, "Ooh, I'm back." Even if it's just for 5 minutes, eh? We miss that cheeky smile. Alright, we got 6 of you here at the moment according to my stream settings. So who's hiding in the background? Okay, so we've got Freeze heading off. Handmade Designs are welcoming, darling, if I hadn't said hello to you earlier. What are you working on at the moment, girl? Anything interesting? Who hasn't told me what they're working on, what they're drinking, what they're eating? Is it morning? Is it evening? Is it afternoon? Bobby's going crazy. She's gone over the hour on her timing. Okay, so for the new girls that have come, that have just popped in, at the moment I have a 20% off on all of the patterns over on Ravelry. You need to use the word RED, that's capital R-E-D, at checkout, and that will give you the 20% off. Now, some of the patterns do have combined pricing, so if you were buying the biddy or the pop blanket hat combo, you'll get a discount there, and you also get a discount if you buy all 3 of the Winter Harvest set, which is that one up there that Dora Head is wearing, and that will run out at the end of this month. Also, we've got a giveaway on the channel. They're quite rare, so you want to jump over to that as well. It is a the blue heart giveaway, and that is for a copy of the, where's my arm? There we go. The Cheeky Ellie pattern. Now that pattern contains 2 versions of the Ellie. One is a snuggly, which is a soft body, and the other one is a larger version that you add straps to for a cheeky or elephant rucksack. So get on to those ones as well once this live is over, and also hop over to Blue Heart Crochet where you'll get a second chance. The new girls that have come in aren't from the UK, so sorry to say the yarn that I showed earlier you can't get your hands on, because the postman says he said no. No, he said no. Postie said no. I'm helping you out, honestly I am. 20 quid for 100 grams just on postage. Forget it. There are hand dyers more locally to you that will probably do a nice deal for you if you look around. But if you're in the UK and you want to have a nose at the colourways, after this live I will be popping photographs up that show each of the hanks I showed earlier on. Along with the hanks, there's also going to be one in there that's open so that you can see how the colours transition in the loop. So you can work out whether the colours would work in the project you have in mind. And hopefully they'll be up on the Facebook group probably about 5 o'clock if I'm lucky. So that'll cover the DK weight ones that I showed on the Whips, Bits and Chat on Sunday, and the 2 weight fingering that I showed earlier on today's live. So that's about that. Just trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, anyone want to test? We'll do the shout out for a tester again. I am looking for someone that has 400 grams of yellow or green. Aran worsted weight yarn. And has some time to test. It is another animal bag, so it's a big fat clue on the colours there, yellow or green. If you fancy it, pop a message in the chat or in the description box down below if you're watching this on the replay. And of course, if you want to jump queue quick, send me an email or send me a message on Facebook. Both of those, the information for both of those will be in the description box down below. 9 out of 10 times it's easier to either get me via a message on the video or Facebook. Because that's how my tablet works. My emails are just stuck to the computer up here, because otherwise I'd be like ping 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 every 5 seconds. Not like with junk mail. I mainly get junk mail. It's really boring. I need photos, gang. If you have made any of the patterns that I showed earlier on, or that are on the channel, and you haven't sent me photos yet, why not? I want to show them off. I want to nose at it. I want to see what your colour choices are. If so, please send photos. I would love to see them, and of course I'd love to share them as well. If you don't want them shared, that's fine. Still send them to me. Just put "do not share" in the email. Okay, we've started getting the Wheel of Misfortune, so I think it's pretty much time for me to head out, because I am starting to go a little bit back crazy, and there's only one viewer left. I've scared you all off. Right, so I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really, really soon. Please remember to stay chilled, stay happy, and keep crafting. Thank you for joining me today. Ta-ra, everybody!